Hey everyone, this is Marla at Twinstrology. Welcome back. I'm going to be doing a pick a card reading today. I've got 3 different decks here. The Psychic Tarot of the Heart is going to be number 1. We have the Divine Feminine and Masculine Reunited is number 2. And the Quantum Oracle is going to be number 3. So pick whichever one you want, and I will put the timestamps for the readings in the comments. Just so you know, these readings are not time sensitive. You can come back and listen to these readings whenever you choose. These are also going to be extended readings on Vimeo. So if the reading is resonating with you and you want to hear more, just check out the comment section of this video, and that's where I'll be posting the links. So thank you very much, and let's get started. Okay, if you chose card number 1, this is the Psychic Tarot of the Heart by John Holland. Let's just shuffle out some cards. Whoa! That blue throat chakra card. That has flipped over twice, but I haven't felt totally like I wanted to draw it, but I'm gonna just pull it out because if it keeps showing up, there's something about your throat chakras. What challenges this connection? Well, of course, we have the Truth card too, so maybe we should put the throat chakra card over here with the Truth card. Okay, wow, lots of ones in this reading. So the overall energy of the connection between the two of you is positive movement forward. So this is really good news. So there's something about your connection that's ready to go to the next level. Something is being cleared away. This card is an 8. 8 often correlates with karma, also correlates with infinity. But I feel like the path is being cleared so that you can go forward. And I will pull a card later to see like what exactly is going forward. What's positive here in your union is the card Truth. And that's where I put the throat chakra, right? Because truth is needing to come out around something in this situation. I suspect that the truth is about your connection. You know, so often it's hard to be fully in our truth, fully in our honesty with our twin, whether it's the divine feminine or divine masculine, you know, because there's a lot of fears involved. There's a lot of programming involved. But we're getting pushed so much these days to speak our truth. There's a lot of clearings around throat chakras happening. we're really stepping out into the truth of who we are as well. And we're speaking out on a wider scale. Now, last time I did a reading for the Lion's Gate, I did a card reading. And I talked about how the masculine, I got a message from the divine masculine that they want to move forward on their mission too. That they want to how do I want to say this? They want to work with you. Like if you're out there doing your spiritual purpose, they want to do that with you. And that's kind of drawing them in. So I feel like that's also the truth card here. On the other side, what challenges this union? It's balance. Okay, this is the number 11. So like I said, there's a lot of ones here. So there's something in this connection that isn't always balanced. And I feel it relates more than likely to somehow being disempowered, because we have this angel here and he's got all the elements, meaning he has all the necessary tools to do what he wants to do, create what he wants to create, to bring justice. But you're not feeling that somehow. Let's get some more information. Let's pull some romance angels cards here. What is moving forward here in this connection? Codependency. Okay, so you're breaking free of some kind of codependency. That can be one of the reasons why the truth maybe has been hard for you to say. Okay, with truth, what's positive? This could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner you seek. Okay, so this card is clarifying truth. So maybe for some of you, or for some of your twins, or a little bit of both, because these cards do represent both of your energies, maybe there's been some disbelief, or you haven't fully accepted that, yeah, this is the person for you. This is the truth of the situation. Maybe you haven't wanted to speak up to this person because for some reason you're resisting or you're hesitant to say 100%, this is the person for me. This is kind of the negative of having me shuffle on screen. Some people get very angry if they don't see you shuffling. Some people get angry because it takes so long to watch someone shuffle. So what can I do? Okay, so what's challenging the relationship is number one, give your relationship a chance and playfulness. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. Okay, so the area where we need to bring balance here is number one, in your energy, because you're not allowing yourself to go. You're not being free. You're feels like there's too much worry not enough fun. So that's not creating balance here. Give your relationship a chance. Well, if you're hesitant to accept that this person is the one, then maybe you're hesitant to really give this relationship a chance. So that's where some of the struggle is coming from. And this is coming because there's some fears, right? The codependency, that card can just represent any kind of fear that's putting a limitation on you. So a lot of what I'm feeling here is, for this union, there's fears being overcome, and there's movement forward, and there's this energy of wanting to speak out, wanting to tell the other person, yeah, I think you're the one. And the resistance of wanting to be together, work towards this relationship, seems to be shifting. Of course, this balance card can represent the balance of the divine masculine and feminine as well. And so maybe there has been some imbalance in this union, and now that's getting ready to shift, because it's like you're both are seeing what the fears have been, and you're both now acknowledging, this is actually what I want. Now, how do I get there? So let's talk about that. Let's talk about what the divine feminine in this union has to heal. Like I always say, we have divine feminine and masculine within both of us. So we have to listen to both sides and kind of see where we're projecting that energy within us, not just looking at, this one is my twin and this one is me. So the place where the divine feminine needs to heal right now is intuition. This is the High Priestess card. It's not only about being guided by your intuition, but it's about you really embracing and acknowledging the power that you have as a high priest or a high priestess. And you got to trust yourself. You got to trust your voice. When we look at these cards, truth and throat chakra, okay, and you're trying to step into being the high priestess or high priest if you're a man, you've got to be in your truth, and you've got to clear the throat chakra. You have to be able to say what you want to say. This has been something that we've been working on all year, and we continue to work on, and we see this in people. People really are people are really speaking out these days, sometimes in a very angry, aggressive way. Okay? And if you're feeling aggressive because of all the polarization around you, and that's creating an imbalance in your energy field, okay, then you've got to see that you're powerful. And we're working through triggers from other people, because when you express who you are, there's going to be people that disagree with you, that you make angry, that want to put you down and reject you. But you have to find your strength to be not affected, not bothered by what other people are going to say about you. Now, for some of you, this intuition card is also talking about seeing the truth of this connection. If you haven't trusted, or you haven't believed in your union, there's something about your intuition that's now coming forward to help you with that. You're trusting your intuition more, okay? You're trusting that is truth. And I feel like this card is saying that you're coming to a higher place of balance because, you know, with all the struggle and strife in the world right now, with all the polarization, it's really hard to find that balance. But if you go within, if you meditate, if you take your walks in nature and kind of, you know, spend that time tuning out the world so that you can hear you and you can hear the voice of your higher self, then you're going to be able to really know what truth is. Sometimes we get so wrapped up in everything that's going on and what people are saying and what the news is saying and all the fear that's being put out, that we forget how powerful we are as creators when we find that balance within ourselves. And we need to do that for our unions as well. As I wrote the other day, our divine masculines are, you know, they're counting on us to be the anchors for them right now as they awaken. So how you're healing things is the card Triumphant Success. So again, this is speaking your truth. Now, Ace of Swords, a 1 card, new beginning, new energy, and the sword is it's air. Air correlates with our voice, our expression. And of course, with the sword, it's being in your power, cutting through the karma, cutting through the bullshit, cutting cords with people if you have to, or with situations, in order for you to find balance and get to your level of truth so that you can move forward. This is letting you know that you're on the right path. Keep speaking. Keep trusting. What is the Divine Masculine healing? Their card is Prosperity Begins. That's funny because I think I pulled this for the Divine Masculine in the last reading. But there's a lot of mirroring going on between twin flames right now, and so we're very often working on a similar aspect at the same time. So something's blossoming here for the Divine Masculine. He's been wanting, again, I say he, could be a she. They are beginning to see a material change within their world for the things that they've been trying to shift, right? So they've been making the internal changes in their thoughts and understanding. And this is allowing this energy to really kind of manifest and materialize in some way. Okay, remember, we've got this positive movement forward. So this is where they're moving forward positively. This often correlates with abundance. This deck, the red cards in this deck represent coins. So this is like the Ace of Coins card. There's a new beginning here. A new beginning that's bringing more abundance. From one seed, all of these peaches or apples are growing. I guess that's a walnut. I guess these are peaches. It doesn't matter, but yeah. And turning something that appeared to be stagnant into something that's once again growing. Now, how are they doing that? The first card I got was Third Eye Chakra here. Which, funny, right? Like I said, there's mirroring. Their third eye chakra is opening more for the Divine Masculine. And because of that, they're seeing a lot of new perspectives on things. One of them is this, because remember I mentioned one of the things this card is representing is where you're not seeing how you're the creator of your reality and that you have the power to create what you want. Well, with the third eye chakra opening, the Divine Masculine is beginning to see this, beginning to see how powerful they are, That's allowing them to bring things into manifestation. I feel like, they're also finding this sense of peace, just like I talked about with the divine feminine. You need to meditate, you need to pull away, you need to go within to hear the voice of your higher self. The divine masculine is going through that as well. So this is where that truth is coming from, because they're seeing the connection more clearly with you. Maybe they felt it before, but they were afraid, or they didn't trust it. But now they do. Now they're getting ready to speak to you about it. The throat chakra does also connect to our spiritual abilities as well, because it connects to our sense of hearing, I believe, and a little bit of seeing, if I'm not mistaken. I just pulled a card for clarification there on the third eye chakra, and I got this Passion Ignited card. Again, an ace. So we have the Ace of Swords, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Ace of Wands all come out in this reading, as well as the Balance card, which is 11. So yeah, Ace of Wands. First of all, we can see the passion on this woman's face. Her heart is ignited. And so this is telling us that along with their third eye chakra, something about their heart chakra is expanding as well. They're tuning in more to their divine feminine energy and essence. They're listening more to their higher self. And that's where the truth is coming from. But yeah, lots of heart awakening here, but also creative energy, right? The Ace of Wands is really bringing that creative force. It also has sexual attraction, new beginnings, even kind of birthing energy associated with it. So again, I feel like this is correlating with they are understanding the role that they play in creating their reality. Okay, the message from the divine masculine for the divine feminine is romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. So the divine masculine is saying to the divine feminine, yeah, I do have romantic feelings for you. I may not be showing them to you right now. I may not be expressing them right now because I'm still clearing my throat chakra. But I want you to know that the feelings are there. Okay, so what does the divine feminine want to say to the divine masculine? Retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world. Well, there's a little bit of this energy of wanting to get away. We have this card here with the boat on it too, right? And so for some of you, this is going to represent going away together or spending time together alone. And that's going to create some healing in your dynamic. For others of you, this retreat card is saying you've got to go within. Again, I think it's pretty clear in this reading how there's a lot of mirroring going on, and you got this side and this side. But like I said, they relate, like they're related to each other now. There is no separation for many twins. You know, if they're on advanced stages, it may not be that easy if you just met your twin within the last year or two. But for others, your energy fields are becoming much more aligned. And so it's really hard to separate one person's feeling this and one person's feeling that, because a lot of times you're on the same page. But yeah, retreat, go within. Like there's more awakening energies here. Both sides still awakening to new levels. You know, we're not done waking up, even if we're the divine feminine. So make sure you're getting enough time for yourself. I think that's going to be very important. And plus, you know, we have Mars retrograde coming up. We've got this Pisces energy coming in right now with the Pisces full moon. The moon's going to be crossing Pisces soon. I'm not Pisces, Neptune. The sun's going to be opposing Neptune. So that can bring up a lot of like tiredness and emotions and needing to disconnect from people, because there can be like this crossover of energy and picking up too much from other people. So let's pull one card about the future. What's coming up for this union? Okay, one of the cards about the future energy is transformation. This is the death card. So, you know, like I said, we had all these ones. There's this really strong new beginning energy here, especially with this, okay? And your higher self is saying not to worry about what's ending, because there's positive movement forward here in your connection and in your life. Okay, so things are beginning to change. Don't let the changes distract you, upset you. You have to let go. And there might be some scary changes, some big changes coming up. But you got to trust. You got to know that everything is aligning in truth. Okay, so I will pull the Journey of Love card here instead of doing it at the end of the reading on my Vimeo. But yeah, if you're resonating with this, I'm going to go on after this last card onto Vimeo, and I'm going to talk more in depth about what's being healed, what kind of karma's here, and I'm going to get more in-depth messages for you about what your twin wants to say to you. Well, I got two, but I'm going to take this one that's on top. Sensual Awakening, number 64. Beautiful image and colors on that card. Within the sacred temple of your body, your soul experiences the vast buffet of life made manifest. Your sensuality is a way for your soul to express appreciation, pleasure, and joy. Your sensuality is much like your creative energy. It needs to be expressed regularly, otherwise it can become muffled under a fuzz of too much thinking. You're being called to experience your sensual nature again. You are beautiful and vivid, striking and appealing. Allow your sensual appreciation for yourself and others to flow, and enjoy this unique experience of being soul awakened and a body awakening. It's all love. This oracle brings you guidance that your sensual nature needs to play, and it doesn't require an external lover to do so, though that is one way, of course. It can be expressed through massage, creating art, spending time in nature, swimming, dancing, feeling the sun or the air on your skin, drinking aromatic tea, or taking a bath. Play with what feels good for you and enjoy the indulgence. It will bring you renewed energy, and apart from that, it's fun. I dare not touch my heart's desire that sings a melody so still and lights within a yearning fire, a void that you alone can fill. I cannot say how my heart aches, nor speak the words as embers burn. Such blessings come to those who wait, a love that asks not in return. An open soul a risk must bear, to love without restrictions held, to reach another level rare, where two embraced has one are meld, to taste surrender's nectar sweet, by piercing through the veil so thin, and bathe in joy as tears release, a promised dance begins again. Wow, beautiful card, perfectly aligned with this reading. Remember, we had that card play as well, and finding balance, going within to get in touch with your feminine side and your heart. Use your creativity in whatever way that means to you. So I'm going to be ending this here, and I'll see you over on Vimeo. Thank you, and I'll speak to you soon. Okay, this is for those of you that chose deck number 2. This is the Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine Reunited deck. Let's just pull some cards here and ask about your union. Whoa, didn't work out so good. You see them, I hope. Okay, so the card here that represents the overall energy of your connection is abandonment. It's a number 8 card, and 8 correlates with karma. So there's some situations of a karmic nature that have, led you to struggle with abandonment issues, as we all have. For some of you, it's likely something that has to do with your parents. And here we see a father leaving, the child feels abandoned. So this wound that you're carrying is something that's going to be, prominent for you over the next bit of time, because you're actually working on healing this. Now, the Divine Feminine has done a lot of work on healing abandonment already, but it's not totally healed. In addition, the Divine Masculine is trying to heal their abandonment wounds. Now, remember, we're all Divine Masculine and Feminine within. So we have both of those pieces within us, as well as our twin, who's the externalized representation of that energy. So if you think, like I've done so much work on it, it could be that your twin is triggering that energy within you. But like I said, this abandonment is a deep, deep wound. It's actually the core wound for, I think, pretty much everybody. Because in one way or another, we felt rejected and abandoned, and we fear having that happen to us again. But we can't move forward if we have this fear controlling us, especially with the current energies coming in and the awakening of the planet. Light workers, twin flames, we're needed to step out into our full power, into our full voice, has that high priest and priestess energy. And we really can't do that if we're still struggling with abandonment. But this is good, because this is what your higher self is saying. Your primary healing is happening around right now. What's positive here in your union is unconditional love. So your heart is opening despite this abandonment wound, or because this wound is healing. You are opening your heart. I think we're going to talk more about this as we get into the other cards, but in some respect, there's been an inner struggle with really embracing the idea of unconditional love because of your fear of abandonment. And again, this comes off like an onion in layers, and we may have thought that we've healed it, and then something is triggered in us and we see that there's yet another aspect of it. But this is very nice to have in the positive position. What challenges your union right now is joy. So there's something about what's happening, your fear of abandonment, that's stopping you from living in your joy. Again, I think this goes back to being fully empowered. When we are living in our heart, we get to this state of unconditional love, and we don't get triggered so much anymore. We're able to relax and enjoy life. Until then, we're often working through a lot of fears and insecurities that really stops us from grabbing life by the horn and living life to its fullest extent. And that's something that we need to do when we awaken to our truth as a soul. Let's just pull some Romance Angels cards here, get some more details. Okay, for the overall energy here of abandonment, they're saying pay attention to the red flag. So something is being revealed. In some way, the veil is being removed from something that you didn't see about this before. Like I said, this is an onion, this is layers. So you're seeing a new aspect of this for the first time. Could also be for some of you that something has happened with your twin that's triggered you. And the universe is saying pay attention to the red flag here because there's a learning experience for you in that situation. Okay, for what's positive in your union, you deserve love is the first card that came out. You are lovable. Of course, this unconditional love needs to extend to yourself. And you're seeing that about yourself now. That might be an aspect of the veil that's being unfolded for you. You deserve unconditional love. Are you giving yourself unconditional love? That's the first step here. For some of you, like I said, you might be going down this other road. Seems like there's kind of two storylines possibly evolving here. The other one is, something has happened with your twin that's triggered abandonment, and it's, I think I said it's teaching you something. It's teaching you that you're not allowing love, or you need to stand up for love possibly in this situation. I want to be careful here because I don't want to feed negative energy, if you know what I mean. So 2 cards actually came out here in this spot of what's positive. The other card is free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. So when we talk about abandonment and moving into unconditional love, this is freeing you. Remember, like we said, when you feel abandoned, it steals your joy. it puts you in a state of fear and it blocks you from moving forward. But you're healing and you're moving forward now. What challenges your union? Reconciliation. Someone from your past is returning to your life. Okay. Well, that gives us a little bit more clarity too, because maybe I need to converge these two storylines that I was feeling and say that, something's happened here to trigger this feeling of abandonment, but you needed to go through the trigger so that you can move deeper into unconditional love. It's the energy that we have to push through that actually heals us, that actually moves us forward. So we have to have triggering experiences in order to shed the energy that we don't need. So in order for this reconciliation to happen, you need to move through the hurt. Like there's something about your connection. You're stopping the energy. You're focusing on what you don't want. You're focusing on the pain. You're focusing on the negative. I think it's very easy right now for twins in some situations to fall into victim mentality and to feel like something has triggered them about their twin, and they want to feel like, well, my twin victimizes me, and my twin stops me from having joy, and my twin stops me from, getting all the things I want because they're rejecting me, or they don't acknowledge this relationship, or whatever the case may be. But you're never a victim. You can't be a victim because you're meant to be an empowered soul. So you have to shed the victim mentality. When you do, that opens the door to happiness and furthermore, reconciliation. So I feel like somewhere there's a block to this reconciliation. And remember, there's two sides to the story. Your twin might have been feeling abandoned and that's why they triggered you. They might have been feeling their own pain. Let's just take a look at that. So from the masculine's perspective, they're saying like they're not able to fully express their feelings for you because their abandonment wound gets triggered when they say too much. Okay, and then that's likely to trigger you. From the divine feminine's perspective, I feel like what she's saying here is, because the message is dreaming about you. So I feel like the divine feminine is feeling like her dreams. I say her, it's a genderless. It could be her or him. She's feeling abandoned because her hopes for this relationship are not being fulfilled at the moment. Okay, so instead of letting that bring the energy down, there needs to be this connection to heart and to unconditional love and acceptance so that you can open up more joy in this gateway to your reconciliation. We always have to remember that the other person also struggles with fears and doubts and insecurities, and they have blocks in their life that stops them from moving forward too. It's not just that they're necessarily want to treat you like that, but they get triggered from their own fear and then they react. they lash out. So how does the divine feminine need to work on healing in this situation? Energy is the card, the primary card. So I feel like they're talking about where is your vibration. And not only that, but you can see on this card, she's actually bringing this healing energy down into the divine masculine's heart. She's like the conduit for the vibration of heart expansion. The divine feminine is heart expansion. And I wrote about this week, how the divine feminine has to believe in union right now because of the things that the divine masculine are going through. Many are going through a dark night of the soul, and the feelings that they're shifting through can affect the energy of the divine feminine by telepathy. So we have to be aware. We have to be aware of what it is we're feeling and how things are affecting us. Okay, so you may be picking up on your twin's energy. It may also be your own energy, and you have to be honest with yourself about that. But because the divine feminine represents the heart energy and healing the heart, unconditional love, the divine feminine often wakes up first. And the place where many are at now is needing to become the anchor for the divine masculine's healing. So the divine masculine did that for us when we were awakening. And unfortunately, many of them did that by staying within their 3D reality, by not allowing the subconscious feelings to come up, or being in avoidance of the feminine out of fear. But that was what the energy required at the time. Now, in order for the masculine to go through their healing, the divine feminine is becoming the anchor. And she's doing that by coming into a state of balance and peace, by coming into this state of unconditional love. And this is what this woman is doing. She's sending unconditional love energy to her partner. You don't have to be in communication to do this. All you need to do is be in this state of unconditional love. Offer forgiveness, acceptance. Now, of course, you never want to put up with bad behavior from people. And if someone is really treating you bad, then by all means, step away from that relationship until that person shows signs to you that they've changed and they're going to treat you with respect. But for many of you, this is just creating the balance that's needed in your relationship while you go through the healing. How the divine feminine is doing this is through Achilles, the god of vulnerability. Yeah, in order to be in this state of unconditional love, you've got to be vulnerable. You have to allow yourself to embrace your vulnerability, to not be triggered, to not react. Let's say your twin says something hurtful to you. You can react in a hurtful way back. You can push back. You can get angry. You can say, oh, fuck off. I don't care about you. But that's not the truth. It's not the real you. It's all you're doing is putting up a defensive barrier that's blocking these things. Not just your reconciliation, but it's blocking joy, because joy really comes from being who we are, saying what we really feel, doing what we really want to do. So this is about letting your defenses down, letting your guard down, and just becoming the state of love. Now for the divine masculine, Oh, it's this card. What is it the divine masculine needs to heal? It's karma. And this came up in the last reading I did. And I just want to mention it again that, I did mention at the beginning, we're both the masculine and feminine. So you're going to find elements of both within you, both within your twin. Like, as I said to the other reader, to the first group, there's very little separation between twins. There's a lot of mirroring going on and working on the same problems, the same energy. There's a lot of telepathy going on. So really, it's not so much like this person's working on this and this person's working on that, but you're working on the same energy from two different places. So for the masculine, it's having to do with karma. Okay, and like I said, that this abandonment is likely from your childhood or a past life. This card is saying it's coming from a past life. And, this man, his love has died and he felt abandoned. And now in this lifetime, that karmic energy is still at play. It's like he fears her. Look at this card, right? This is the past life. His love has died. Here, she's yelling at him and he is pulling away because he's feeling that pain of abandonment, of feeling like I couldn't protect her, I couldn't save her, and now I'm afraid. A lot of these things take place on a subconscious level. That's why I'm saying, like, if you're really twins, then some of this energy is going to play out, like the other person is going to be afraid. You're going to be afraid. You're going to have patterns come up from the past, from when you were separated. And it doesn't feel good, but we have to acknowledge that we need to step over that in order to heal. So this is showing that I feel what the masculine is showing you. He said he can't speak his truth to you right now. And he may be rejecting you and lashing out in fear, and he's telling you like it's karmic in nature. He's not healed something from the past. How he needs to do that is through surrender. And again, I'm saying it's genderless. It can be a man or a woman. So surrendering, the place where the divine masculine is at because of this energy that's being triggered in them is control, right? When you're in this abandonment and you're in these karmic situations, the first thing that the mind goes to is I need to control this situation. I'm going to do that by pulling my energy away, by running away. But the universe is saying, no, you can't run away anymore. You've got to stop. You've got to surrender. You've got to let go. And you've got to allow this healing to take place within you. Okay, so what does the divine masculine want to say to the divine feminine about this energy? This could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner that you seek. So I feel like the message to you is this person knows that you are the one. Okay, they just haven't really settled down to perhaps moving forward in this, but I feel like they're giving you this hope. Like, I really have feelings for you. I really care about you. I know that you're the one for me. And, well, what I'm getting is please have patience while I heal myself. And what the divine feminine is saying to the divine masculine is worth waiting for. Divine timing's at work in your love life. So this is beautiful because the feminine is saying, to the masculine. I am willing to wait for you. You are worth waiting for. And I'm healing myself too in this situation. One card, please. Okay, what's coming up in the future? Aries, god of battle. Okay. So one of the energies that your higher self is trying to bring down into this connection is taking off the armor, letting go of the defenses. This is what Aries represents. He's got his battle armor on. He's got his helmet on. I hope that you can see this. Sorry, it seems a little dark, this card, in this light. He's got a mask on as part of his armor. So you've got to take the armor off, both of you. You've got to show your true feelings. You've got to surrender and allow yourself to be vulnerable. You got to allow your heart to open. And, this card too is healing the inner child. Here this child is crying, and here this child is being loved unconditionally. Well, it's up to you to love your inner child unconditionally. So when it says you deserve love, are you giving your child that love? That child needs to feel secure in order to take the armor off and allow that vulnerability to show through. So I am going to pull a Journey of Love card here in this section of the reading. But if you would like to follow me over to Vimeo because this reading is resonating with you, then I'm going to go deeper into it. I'm going to go deeper into what each is healing, what kind of karma is going on. I'm going to give a message from your twin flame and go deeper into what is coming up in the future. But like I said, I'm going to pull this card here first for everybody. This is a Journey of Love card from Alana Fairchild. What is the message of love for this couple? That was quick. Fire and Ice, which number 37, which feels kind of appropriate because this energy almost feels like a battle almost happening here. You're learning to hold the tension of opposites, of those things that don't immediately seem to go together within your being without collapsing into confusion, judgment, and denial. There is passion and serenity, creation and destruction, new life and death emerging within you, within your relationships. Sometimes this is hard to handle. We want to make things simpler, to just let go of the conflict and the complexity and choose one or the other. You are a grand enough soul to be able to withstand the rigors of depth, to go deep, to live fully, to let the divine have its way through you requires a willingness to stand at the center of a pair of opposites and eventually know that they are connected to each other, that they exist only in relationship to each other, to breathe and simply be. If you are consciously feeling the conflict in your life, internally or externally, then you are being initiated through fire and ice. Stay present, be patient, and wait. There is nothing to fix here, just awareness to step into as divine creation continues to unfold through you. As you master this initiation, you will find a sweet nectar of bliss dripping within. This oracle brings you guidance that the conflict you feel within or externally is a sign of your spiritual growth. Soon you will grow larger than the conflict, but for now, you do not need to engage in it. Simply to be present to it and allow it to work its way through you until you are strong enough to have outgrown the conflict. giving rise to a clear direction. It may seem impossible, beloved, but it is not. You are a vast being. Give yourself a chance to realize this and have patience. All is becoming, including you, according to the perfection of divine design. This oracle brings significant guidance on any relationship matter requiring a decision. Until you have simple clarity in your heart, beyond the pushing away and pulling closer, then it is time to wait, for there is more yet to be revealed. Only when your heart speaks clearly, then you will do well to act as feels truthful for you. This is a beautiful silence now as I hold your hand and listen to your eyes, across a span of moments called time. There are no words that say as much, nor walls that could define the wings of our feeling or the rhythm of our eyes. This is page 88, by the way, more eights. So, to me, this card is about balancing the opposites, balancing the polarities, and this is something that you're working through in your union right now. Okay, this card talks about getting clarity. Okay, and this card, pay attention to the red flags. This is getting clarity. The veil is being revealed by your higher self. It's going to let you know that you can be in your heart. You can free yourself. And you can open to the love and joy that's really meant for you. So if you would like to follow me over to Vimeo, check out the link in the About section of this video. If not, thank you so much, and I look forward to speaking to you again soon. Hello, this is reading number 3. If you chose the deck, the Quantum Oracle, this is the reading for you. I'm not sure any cards actually want to come out of this deck. What is the overall energy of this union? These cards are very hard to shuffle too. It's one thing I don't like about this deck. I mean, it's the same size as other decks, but the cards are really thick and they hurt my hand after a while. This is the problem when I deal on camera. Some people get really angry if they don't see you shuffle. But the negative drawback is you have to wait for me to shuffle. Okay, so here are the cards that we have. The overall energy of your connection is commitment. So This is a pretty good card to have here. So you are both coming into a deeper state of commitment. Remember, when I pulled these cards up here, these are the energies that's coming down from your higher self. These are the things that's trying to materialize in your life. So there's a deeper commitment to your connection, to your purpose, just a connection to moving forward. Now, what's positive here, we have the card travel. What I really feel about this card is that you're moving forward. Okay, so it's like maybe you were unsure about something in the past, but now both of you are like, nope, I'm committing, and that's like creating this forward momentum. For some of you, you could actually be traveling. You may be traveling to visit each other. You may be moving as well. Moving to a new place or leaving a situation. Because over here, for what challenges your union, we have decrease. Okay, so there's something that's being lost. Like in order for you to move forward, you've got to let something go. Some of this is going to likely be emotional energy because we see this water here, water slipping through her fingers. So that could bring up emotional energy. This card is a cycle, so it's like a cycle of letting go. There might be some grief involved. So it might be that you have to leave something behind. And maybe there's some positive and negatives for it. But if I had to just like be like general with this, it's like you're moving forward on something, but you're letting something go in the process. Let's pull some Romance Angels cards and see if we can get a little bit more detail about these energies. Whoa. Okay, so what the overall energy is here is finances and career. Financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. So it could be new jobs, new situations, new connections. I feel like because you're both committing to your next stage, your next level, that's opening up new levels of abundance. And maybe, you've been in a state of lack with this decrease card, and it's a bit feeling like I haven't always had what I wanted, whether it's money or love or friendships or just the right thing. You've felt this little bit of lack. And so you're committing to changing your patterns. Now what is positive here? We have passion. Okay, so I feel like the commitment is being signed because there's this passionate energy, there's this heart energy, attraction, creativity, all of these things coming out of this passion. So now you guys, some of you likely don't live near each other. Here we have the honeymoon card. This is the challenge though. Enjoy the holiday time of bliss together. So you may not even be in the same location. Maybe you live in separate countries. And it's very difficult, right, to cross between countries right now. So maybe you can't see each other. But there's this energy of we're making plans to see each other or to move and to be together. But like I said, something has to give in order for this. So with this card too, when we're looking at just the sense of moving forward, right? This can be saying, you know, you are moving forward, you want to move forward, but you still haven't let go of everything that's allowing you to move forward. Because, you know, here we have, it's called honeymoon, but we have these people in a boat. So boats are always bringing forward motion. Boats don't go in reverse, you know? So they're always moving forward, but this is saying there's a reason, there's a struggle about moving forward here. Now for some, you might actually be getting married, you might be committing to each other because of the way these cards are lining up. Okay, so for the Divine Masculine, I feel like what they're committing to right now is overcoming their fears, because this person has a fear that you're going to leave them. They have an abandonment wound, and so they may have been running or they may have been dragging their feet because of this wound. But something is changing in their energy and they're deciding to commit to moving towards you. For the Divine Feminine, I feel this can be a new job, actually, because the message is, I have a stressful job. So you may be moving to a job that is less stressful, and it may involve travel. It may even mean that you've got to take a pay cut or something, or you need to live in a place where you don't necessarily like, or there's some kind of give and take here. But I feel like it's in your best interest. We'll go through this more as we go into the reading, which actually, let's talk about the Divine Feminine now. What is the Divine Feminine healing? These two cards came out, Courage and Status Quo. Okay, so you've been stuck in a status quo somewhere. You know, you've been stuck in a pattern that you haven't been able to get out of. But the universe is offering you a new opportunity. But you need to have courage, because, you know, you don't see the whole picture. You're not sure about this path. You're like, I don't know, I got to walk through this dark forest. I don't know if I can trust it. I'm afraid of the dark. You know, so there's things that you're not seeing. But your higher self is likely pushing you here. Well, I know your higher self is pushing you here, because your higher self is saying, like, you can't stay in the status quo anymore. It's time to bring change. It's time to move forward in whatever way that is, whether it's a new job or a new house, whether it's something with your twin where you're needing to make some kind of commitment with him. Could even just be like, you know, committing to yourself, committing to your health and how you care for yourself. But how you're healing this is your higher self. So that's why I said, like, I know your higher self is guiding you to have courage, because that's what the message is. It's saying, you know, you're hearing messages from your higher self to do this, to make these changes in your life, and that it's going to bring you abundance. Now, we have to remember, when we look at this decrease card, like, this is what is challenging, but it's what you're overcoming. So by moving forward, you're actually overcoming some sense of lack, whether it's just your own fear that you don't feel abundant, or, here I feel it's connected probably to money or love, and you have to overcome that fear. So what is happening with the Divine Masculine? What the Divine Masculine is healing is victim mentality. So like the message that I just got from them was that they are stuck in some fears, and they're afraid that the relationship isn't going to work out, or that you're going to leave them. And so they have been afraid to give their all to this relationship, right? They've felt stuck, and they haven't been able to see the positive things, and they've been stuck in this mentality of lack. And now this is coming up for them to change. So they're moving past, they're committing to moving past this. How they're doing that, discovery. Okay, so they're getting some kind of clarity on something. They're seeing something in a new way. It's like, oh wow, I just recognizing that. For some, that's gonna be like a part of them, like a part of their light that they weren't able to see before. They didn't see that they had power. They thought they were being a victim, or they felt that they were a victim. Could be something they discover about your relationship. Oh wow, I never realized that I had these strong feelings for this person. I never realized this connection was so special. I mean, believe me, if you are the Divine Feminine, your Divine Masculine is awakening. They are. We have to be patient, but they are. And as they awaken, they're discovering new things. This can also be seen as like a nugget of truth. They're discovering their truth. They're discovering how precious they are. They're discovering that they don't have to live in lack, or that there is no lack, that their lack is caused by their own mental energy. But that discovery is helping them get to this place of commitment. Okay, so what is the message from the Divine Masculine to the Divine Feminine? Soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. So when we talk about this, well, actually it's like, if for some of you, your twin has been feeling like they didn't know what to do about this relationship. Maybe they didn't really understand the connection, or they have, some kind of karmic tie, some kind of lack that's been keeping them from moving forward in your connection. But now they're discovering gold, and one of those discoveries, one of those nuggets of truth is, yeah, this is your soulmate. And when they get that discovery, they're going to be more willing to commit, because they're going to feel more confident. They're going to have a deeper understanding. It's also leading them to want to know more about you. And even if you know each other well, this is about really revealing who you are inside, who you are in the depth of your soul, and that takes courage, and it takes empowerment. So this came up a lot in the other readings, that there's a lot of mirroring going on between twins. There is, there's no separation really between the masculine and feminine anymore. So there's very little like this person is doing this and this person is doing that. No, you have to look at both of these readings and find out how this applies to you and yourself, and then find out how this applies to your twin. Because these all go together. right? We can even read that as going together. I feel victimized. I feel bad about myself. Therefore, I don't have the courage to make changes in my life. But when I actually begin to listen to my higher self, then I discover new things about my soul and how special I am. And it allows me to actually move forward in a new direction. I can see this going together too. Discovery and getting to know each other. Like your twin is saying, I want to know who you are. I want to take the time to discover more about you. The Divine Feminine's message to the Divine Masculine is give your relationship a chance. Work on your partnership. So, as I said, this person may have been reluctant to get involved. They may have been running. They may not have fully understood your connection. But with your help and your support, they're seeing that you have stayed true to them. They're wanting now to make more of a commitment to following through. Even if it's like following through right now on moving towards their mission, on learning about this connection, like learning about what a twin flame is, learning about soulmates, learning about how do we heal, how do we ascend, how do we evolve. Don't think that that person is not committed to these things. Let's see what's coming up in the future here. Deception. Okay, so I actually feel like this is something that's being healed, not something that's going to be activated. Because I feel like when I look at these cards, there's been deception, especially from the Divine Masculine's perspective, because they especially haven't been trusting. Although, the Feminine has been reluctant to change too. But because you're both making a deeper commitment, you're becoming more open to express yourselves, to talk to each other, to share your feelings, to get to know each other more. This can also be like where you've been deceiving yourself. There's new clarity coming, right? Because there's discoveries and there's forward movement through fears. And when we do that, then we open our perceptions to new opportunities, new understanding. So I am going to pull the Journey of Love card as this part of the reading. If this reading is resonating with you, then please consider following me over on Vimeo for the extended reading. I am going to go deeper into what you're both healing, what the karmic attachment is to the healing. I'm going to give you a message from your twin flame, and we're going to go into more detail about what's coming up in your future. But let's see what this Journey of Love card is for all of you that are watching. Within nothing, there is everything. Number 2. From a point of stillness, a moment, a complete universe is opening up to you, endlessly expanding. Your every thought and intention sends ripples of consciousness through the universe. What a creative being you are. You are sending consciousness into motion, bringing your creation into being, with every inner desire, with every whispered wish. The universe receives your yearning and aspirations with open arms, returning them to you as manifestations in your life. What is really in your heart? Open your arms, sigh, speak your heart truth aloud to the loving universe, and receive it as your destiny manifesting now. This oracle brings a message to you. Something that you want is on its way to you. It may seem to be coming out of nowhere, no sign on the horizon to give you hope, yet it is coming to you anyway. It's a spiritual law that you cannot be denied the manifestation of your heart's desire. Trust and remain open to the tide of universal love rushing toward you, swelling within you now. The wind moves gently through trees, quiet water flows. Life's songs calls softly. So again, like this card is saying, something is manifesting. New beginnings, deeper commitment, new jobs, moves, traveling together. So don't have doubt or faith right now that what you want is not coming. Don't be in this victim and lack mentality, but trust, no matter what you're going through, that it's bringing some definite advancement in your life. So if you're following me over to Vimeo, I'll see you there. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your support. Sending you love, and I'll speak to you soon.